Welcome back, everyone, here to Bronx Talks. Today, we are going to be talking about the New York Yankees and why they're going to get better. As we know, the Yankees for the last month have really struggled. And maybe even saying the word struggled is an understatement. They have played terrible baseball, literally in all facets of the game. Starting pitching has been bad. The bullpen has been bad, although it's gotten better of late. And the offense has just been really bad. Everything has been bad, but we believe, and many other people believe, as rough as it is for the Yankees, this is the worst of it. And we're going to explain why the Yankees will get better.
Yeah. The first thing I was thinking about this the other day is, we went into the season and I remember how much we were stressing the fact that, you know, there's really two guys, two wild cards that the season that can kind of control the Yankee season. It was Carlos Rodon and Giancarlo Stanton. And to start, both of them were awesome. Then we had Stanton get injured right around the time of the slide, and then Carlos Rodon also started pitching really bad. So obviously, it's not as simple as just two guys playing bad. The whole team's been bad as a whole, but if you do look at it, those are two guys that we've seen them at their worst and they're really bad, and then we've seen them at their best and they can be really key players. So I know Stanton's injured, but if Rodon gets right and Stanton comes back, which is likely going to be right after the All-Star break, I think that's an instant improvement. So right there, those are two guys that when Stanton comes back and Rodon figures it out, which I think he can, because we saw it the first few months of the season, I think that instantly makes them a much better team from what they've been playing like.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Stanton going down was a big deficit for this team. The Yankees have really struggled against left-handed pitching this year. We know Stanton crushes lefties, and they miss him in that middle of the order. He wasn't batting cleanup a ton, but they have no answer at the cleanup spot. I think they're 29th in all of baseball out of production there. They're just really missing a bat in the middle of the order. And yeah, Carlos Rodon's struggling really hurt this team as well. But Christian, as we know, there is some holes on this Yankees team. I think the first thing that comes to mind is third base. Maybe you think about second base. Obviously, the bullpen needs some work too. But the trade deadline is approaching, and the Yankees are going to make some moves. I think we would all be shocked if the Yankees didn't make any moves. They know they have to upgrade. They know they have some holes, and they're going to bring in some people to fix those holes. They're going to bring in some players, whether they're good trades or bad trades, we don't know, but they're going to bring in new guys. We've heard the rumors about Jazz Chisholm, Jonathan India potentially in that bullpen, maybe add a guy like Tanner Scott. They're going to add new personnel that's going to significantly upgrade them and, put their best foot forward.
Yeah. And, the trade deadline, the Yankees are going to be aggressive, right? This is probably one of their best windows that they've had. And there is something to be said for not having DJ LeMahieu in the lineup every day. And that is a simple upgrade. Um, he looks about as bad as possible right now. And, I know the Yankees, they just flirted with him at leadoff yesterday. They're giving him a ton of run, but in my mind, it is a last shot. Can he get something going? If not, we're moving on from this guy. And another interesting kind of factor is going to be Anthony Rizzo. What happens when he gets back? Really not was having a pretty bad season. And, it wasn't one of those like last year where you could say, well, the injury had, a factor. No, he was kind of fine. And he was playing pretty bad, even defensively. And Ben Rice is playing awesome. So I'm curious what the Yankees do. I don't think it's the worst thing ever to have Rizzo on the bench. I know he's very likable, and there's something to be said for having him out on the field, with a captain veteran like presence, but um at the end of the day, it's upgrade at third base, upgrade the bullpen, and I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, and I think another thing too, Christian, the Yankees bench is just not good. It's really not good right now. And when they bring in new players, find someone else to play third base, and who knows what happens with Anthony Rizzo and Ben Rice. If Anthony Rizzo and DJ LeMahieu go into a bench role, I think that would be a significant upgrade for the Yankees bench. When we're thinking about a playoff series, and we need to send a pitch hitter. We need someone who's going to give us a quality at bat, right? You have Anthony Rizzo to go to. You would feel very confident, a guy who's been there, done that, won the World Series, to go out there and give you a quality at bat. And if Rice starts to struggle, maybe you could give Rizzo more time there. And then as far as third base, look, DJ has looked really not good, pretty miserable with the bat this year. But we still know he plays a really good third base. I think he plays first base very well too. Defensive replacement, the Yankees could bring in a guy like DJ to play third. And there's some questions, right? If you bring in Jazz Chisholm, how is he going to fit in with the infield, right? And then a guy like Luis Rengifo, who's phenomenal with the bat, but not totally a great defender. You could have DJ to tighten up the defense in later innings. So I think, by doing that, the Yankees bench would just get significantly better. Rizzo and DJ just not having great years. DJ really struggling even more than Rizzo had been. But I think they still have value on this team and, could still provide some help if need be. But I do think the Yankees are going to get better. There's obviously players that need to step up or they're not going to go anywhere. I think they're going to get better. I would be shocked. I mean, if they keep playing like this, they're not going to, make the playoffs or anything like that. I do think they are going to be a better team, but like we said before, it sort of comes down to the guys playing on the field right now. There's definitely players that are going to need to step up if the Yankees, want to win the World Series. But we'll see what happens. But I do think this is the worst it will get for the Yankees here in 2024.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the worst it'll get, but there is something to be said for changing things because we've seen this, I guess, the past 2 years. 2022, they fell into the slide, and then last year they were kind of in the slide the whole year. I mean, I think it's a little different because I think last year's team was just bad, but at the end of the day, they're gonna have to start playing better. Um, trade deadline upgrades will help, and you know, getting some injured guys back will also help, but the Yankees are gonna have to start playing better. And, I think me and Ryan confidently can't totally confidently sit here saying that it's all going to get better because I mean we kind of waited over a month, like almost 2 months in 2022 for them to just snap out of it because we saw that good team at the beginning of the year and it just never happened. And then, they kind of beat a bad Guardians team and then got swept by the Astros. So, uh, I think there should be a sense of urgency, with the team and if they want to get out of this funk, a few trade deadline and acquisitions aren't going to help. The whole team's going to need to start